He sued the firefighter who saved his home, but when the final question hit, the whole courtroom went up in smoke. Derek Morris didn't have much. Just an old pickup, a fireproof jacket, and a pager that went off at 2 a.m., more times than he could count. He was a volunteer firefighter, the kind who ran into flames while others ran out. No pay, just heart. One July night, lightning struck the ridge behind Oakview Estates. Winds howled. Dry brush lit like gasoline. Derek and his small team had barely minutes to evacuate homes. He banged on doors, screaming, "Fire's coming down fast! Move now!" One of those homes was a 6-bedroom mansion owned by CEO Charles Brennan, tech investor, real estate giant, and the HOA president. His security cameras showed Derek jumping his fence, breaking through a back window, and dragging 2 unconscious dogs outside. He saved the house. But a week later, Derek got served, lawsuit, for trespassing, property damage, and unauthorized entry. Charles Brennan wanted $150,000 in damages. The entire town was stunned. Charles claimed Derek could have called instead of destroying property, and that his antique floor tiles were irreplaceable. Derek sat in court in his firefighter uniform. Not for drama, it's just all he had. When the judge asked him to speak, Derek simply said, "If I hesitated that night to call first, half the street would have burned." The courtroom was silent, until Charles's lawyer stood up with smug confidence. "Mr. Morris, can you tell the court what training you have to make such judgment calls?" Derek looked nervous. Then, from the back row, an older woman in a red scarf stood up quietly. She walked toward the bench, whispered something to the judge, and handed over a sealed envelope. The judge opened it, read silently, then nodded. "Proceed," she said. "One question." The woman turned to Charles and asked, "Mr. Brennan, how many people did you pull out of the fire that night?" He blinked. "Excuse me?" "1, 2. Even your own dogs?" He froze. I wasn't home." The woman turned to the courtroom. Derek saved my daughter, who was trapped in the backyard behind a locked gate. He carried her on his back through the smoke. And she's alive today, because of him, The judge nodded again. She banged her gavel. "This court finds in favor of Mr. Morris. Case dismissed. Mr. Brennan, you're lucky you had someone like him watching your home. Be grateful your losses were only material." Charles lowered his head, speechless. As Derek walked out, people in the gallery stood up, silently, respectfully, on the courthouse steps. A reporter asked him, "You going to countersue?" Derek smiled gently. "Nah, I've got a shift tonight. We've got red flag warnings again. If you believe some heroes wear soot instead of suits, give this video a like. And don't forget to subscribe and share, bow.